Hello everybody, welcome back to Code 8, back to this YouTube channel. So last time we talked about how to install C. Now I'm going to try to walk you in the setting up of C itself. Okay, so as a fresher in programming, or maybe not a fresher, you might see this whole bunch of stuff and you might feel intimidated, but don't worry, it's just a normal thing. So we have a lot of bunch of stuff here. We have the code blocks. We have create a new project. Okay. We have open an existing project. Tip of the day here. We have a bunch of other things. So we have the file. We're going to work through every template. We have the file. This is where you can create new files basically to work with. So it's actually in these files that you write the C code that tells the computer what to do. So you have new here. If you select new, you have empty file. Okay, that's to create a new empty file class. We'll get through that in this tutorials project. Don't worry, don't worry about that. Just know that it exists. Build target file custom from. Just know that when you come to this new job menu, it creates a new version of all these things here from top to bottom. So we have open is to actually open a file. Okay, so it's to open something that has already been created from this new template. We have open way, so like we have open X editor, we have open default workspace, we have recent project. These are the things that you have actually created previously. We have recent file, also the same thing. So you don't actually have to worry about this open in with hex editor, open in default workspace. It's just like opening things you have already created before. We have imports projects, but we won't working much with this in this tutorial. That's because it's not it's usually actually for like you've created something, I think, and you're trying to import it into your C environment. So that way you have save everything. You have save file as, save project, save as it. So let's say you're finished creating your code, you just go and save. We have save everything here. That's to save everything. So you when you come back, you won't lose your all your codes. You have close workspace. That's to close down whatever the code. But then you have to export. That's to export your codes, your source code basically. We have the quit to exit this. We have the edit. So we have the undo, redo, clear changes history. This is when you have texted things and you want to undo it to like, of course you just undo it to like you made a mistake and you're trying to correct it. Let's say you write a bunch of code and you cancel it by mistake. By pressing Ctrl Z, we can get this back. Redo it, redo. We can get the original code back. Redo is to is almost the same thing, but like in the opposite way. We have copy, we have paste, we have highlights, bookmarks, folding. Don't worry about this. We'll get to all this deeply later. We have view. So view is the things we can actually see in our workspace or our environments. So think of this whole thing as your lab. So view are the things you can see. For example, we have the logs. Okay, the logs are all this. This is the logs that I'm talking about. We have these logs are all this stuff here at the bottom. Don't worry about that. We have the perspectives, code blocks, default code blocks. This is just basically this thing you can see. So you can go around and play with all this. You have toolbox, browse tracker, code compiler. So these are the things that will apply that will appear here in our logs that we talked about earlier. We have the manager. Don't really worry about this. We have script console. We have to do lists. This is when you want to. Okay, let's go straight from top to bottom to present confusion. We have Cbus browser, code snippets, Fortran call. You really don't have to know. Just know that they actually exist and they perform a specific function. Hide data. I think it's to hide your tabs also. Cbus browser. I think it's check some stuff on. We'll get through that deeply. For our full screen mode and focus rate and other things. So, but we actually have to work on that deeply right now. We have the search. So all this menu is just to. I'm not going to go deep into this because the text here is pretty much self-explanatory. Because when you're searching, you can search different stuff in the codeblock perspective, things like that. We have project. This is the stuff you're working on, basically the code you're working on, software you're working on presently. You have the build. So build is just it's actually to make the code you just created run or work. So that's when you have the build. So So C uses I'm using when I'm using code blocks. The first thing to know that once you press the build, it will before you can actually run a code. Running a code which simply means to make it execute. You have to build it first. Then when you build it, you now run it. So if you build it and it goes without any error, then you're allowed to run it. Else, it will run the build that was formerly successful that went without any error. But all this might sound pretty much overwhelming at first, but don't worry about that. Debugging will get deep. This is the place where you use to debug pretty much your code, but we'll get deep into this fourth round. You don't really have to worry about this right now. It's what beginners class, so it's just go through the tools. You can leave all these plugins. You can leave all these taxi settings. You can leave all this. So in case you actually run into trouble, why searching on this thing, can just comment and I'll try to guide you through. Scripting and environment will help. So just click environment and see what it actually does. Okay, so while that loads, we'll just wait here. Okay, we have general set, we have the view. So the environment is basically like some stuff here, to-do list, colors of a text. Where's colors? It's all colors here. Colors. Yeah, you can in this environment you can edit basically the things you see your view, like colors of your text, colors of every single thing. Really, pretty much just lovely, lovely. We have settings, we have help. Okay, settings pretty much just for nature, so we don't really have to go. But we, as a beginner, you really don't want to mess with settings really, so you won't create something that you can't undo. So as I said, I'll leave the link of code blocks so you can download it. And if you look at my previous video, you find that you find the download version there. So now, so in our next tutorial, we'll look at actually how to create a project, and we'll talk about what a project is all about. So don't forget to like and subscribe and comment if you have anything to say about the channel. Thank you, and see you later.